Okay, hello. Today we're talking about virtualization. We're going to start off by going over what is virtualization actually. And then after that, we're going to start talking about what are the big five different types of virtualization, the most prevalent types of virtualization, I believe, in our day-to-day process. So we're going to start off first with what is virtualization? So to start off, I will say when I first started this project, I was and still am a little confused on virtualization itself, but I was able to clarify it up a little bit more better for myself. So virtualization basically is basically what I uh, come to the conclusion of. It's basically the virtual version of actual things, whether it's hardware, software, storage. It is the virtual version of that. So you want to talk about hardware and the physical copy of hardware. Basically, it is the virtual version of this. It helps us create useful IT services to make whether it's operating systems better, whether it's our hardware better. It is specific applications that help us through this, and it allows us to use physical machines to their full capacity. We're going to talk about all this here shortly, but let's start off with what types of virtualization I will be talking about. We will be going over application, desktop, as I've stated, hardware, network, and storage virtualization. So let's get right into it. Application virtualization. What is it? All right. So application virtualization, it's the process of getting virtual applications basically. Basically it's so you can access these applications anywhere you are. As you can see, they're made for on the go. As you can see by the picture, you get the specific, whatever you want to say, operating systems or applications. You can access it from a laptop. You can access it from your smartphone. You can access it from a desktop. You can access it from numerous amounts of different, I guess you could say, connected devices. And this is growing throughout the, I guess you could say, the corporation industries where they're transferring everything into different applications and how they do their business and everything through this. And I think this is actually really cool, and it does cut down on time, and I do believe it also will cut down on costs. So I think this is actually really cool, and I do believe that this is one of the most prevalent versions of virtualization that we are surrounded by on a day-to-day basis. So the next one we're going to talk about is desktop virtualization. So what is desktop virtualization? Well, the main advantage of desktop virtualization is that the users don't have to bring their work or their computer or their saved data wherever they have to go. This is portable hardware. Again, almost like the application virtualization. We see by the picture that through the virtual desktop cloud, you can access your work from different PCs, tablets and smartphones, laptops. So it's again almost like application virtualization, except it's made for just accessing your work and accessing different data wherever you go. The next one we're talking about is hardware virtualization. This one is where it started to get a little confusing for me, but bear with me here. It is the most common type of virtualization that we are aware of. And this is made possible through hypervisor. Hypervisor basically makes sure that I guess you could say the software and the operating systems runs the virtual machines. Basically, it has the hardware virtualization makes the ability to operate systems on a different device. So again, we see this continuing pattern of operating different things or different softwares, data, work from different devices. And again, I believe that this is just another version of this, as we see the examples being Windows and Linux, and you see the picture. It can go through from the big modem, or not the modem, the big forgot what the name of that. I apologize. But it goes through the big data software, and it goes through the hardware, the CPU, memory, and the disk, and it goes through to the hypervisor. And through the hypervisor, then that means you can access it from many different devices. The next one we talk about is network virtualization. Again, this is where it started to get more confusing. But network application is where it combines all physical networking equipment. It combines all physical networking equipment as well as specific software resources and network resources as well. It's the process of dividing the bandwidth, I guess you could say, into multiple channels that provides access through, again, different connected devices. See the pattern developing. And last but not least, we talk about storage virtualization. Now, this one is the biggest, I believe. This is the storing data in a virtual store. This storage is replicated and transferred. I mean, it could also be called as the cloud storage. We see this being done through iCloud. All your photos, your music, your text, photos. If I said photos already before, all this is saved through iCloud, and you can access it again through different devices. So through all this, it basically cuts down to one final conclusion that virtualization basically helps you access different software systems, whatever it may be, from different devices, cutting down on time and creating a much easier time. So thank you, and I hope you learned something.